So this is the compost bin. First step for a lot of people to help improve the quality of their garden soil and the fruits and veggies that they're growing. But it can be another step, which I'll show you in a second. So one of the first steps you can take to sustainability is growing your own herbs. And the beauty of this is you don't have to commit to much. You can just grow some basil on your windowsill in the kitchen and you've got access to fresh herbs, and it's not going to cost you a fortune, and you can downgrade or upgrade this as your life requirements allow. Not everyone wants a veggie garden, but I'll show you a few more plants that I've decided to grow. We're actually building a house at the moment, so I can't wait to get them in the ground. Just fruit trees and nut trees and what have you. So what can drive sustainability more than growing your own fruit and veg? Here I've got 4 avocado trees. I love avocados. I live in Albury-Wodonga and we get frosts, so I selected 2 varieties that are tolerant of frosts. I've got 2 bacon avocados and 1 Hass and 1 lamb Hass, which is that little one there, which is a year younger than the other 3 that are 3 years old. They can tolerate a bit of frost, and once we get them in the ground, they should start bearing some good fruit. Hopefully they have to be grown on mounds because our soil is going to be clay, so they like good drainage. So this little tree is called a Djibouti Kaba. It's South American, and it takes about 7 years before we get fruit, so that's another 5.5 years. But the fruit actually grows on the trunk, and apparently it tastes like blueberry yogurt. So I'm quite excited. Obviously gardening is a patience game, especially when you're not growing, that's our dog Rufus, especially when you're not growing lettuce. Some of these avocados can take 7 years to fruit also, but we're patient around here. So I also have 3 olive trees, which our huskies quite enjoy picking the fruits when they turn black or go ripe. And I've also got 4 of these little hazelnut trees. I bought them in a pack of 4 because they're different varieties, so they fruit at different times and they propagate each other. So I can't wait to get some hazelnuts. They're really nutritionally good for you. So just a bit of a side note, I discovered this by accident. This is a clay pot or a terracotta pot they call an olla. It's been used by the Aztecs for about 2,000 years, and you just bury it in the soil and fill it up with water and put the lid back on, and you plant herbs or lettuce around it, and the roots attach to the side of the olla, and they draw moisture out as they need it. So it's really great for busy people who don't have a watering system but work, till all hours of the evening. They can keep their plants alive. I thought that was a really good thing to add to the garden. So in my own small way of contributing to social responsibility, I like encouraging people to grow their own food in any quantity. Just as another side note, sorry about the dog, these black bars, we found these at the tip about 3 years ago, and we've been putting them in our garden and growing cucumbers on them. So that's repurposing. And if you remember about 30 seconds ago, my avocado trees were sitting on a little coffee table. That's we moved from a bigger house to a smaller house, and we had 3 coffee tables we didn't need. So we repurposed them, and we're going to use them for growing seedlings. It's a good way to keep the dogs from weeing on them, which kind of kills the process. Anyway, lastly, I just wanted to mention composting. I showed you my little compost bin at the start. This is a device called a sub pod. It's actually designed in Queensland, and what you do is put coconut core in the bottom. You soak it and then squeeze it dry. Put a layer of that in the bottom, and then you can get composting worms online. You can use any worms you like, but composting worms eat about twice their weight every day, and they you put the coconut core in there, and then there's some best practice things to keep the worms happy. You don't put onion, garlic, citrus, oils, cheese, meat. Try to keep it to a minimum, and they stay happy. And you put the compost in with shredded some sort of carbon, so shredded paper or chunks of cardboard, and then you stir it up every time you feed them. And they because of the holes in this device, they can come and go as they please. And this is actually called vermiculture, and it takes composting to a whole nother level. You can do the same thing with a simple black garden pot. If you drill holes in the side, and then do the same thing with a coconut core on the bottom, and then put your compost and the carbon, bit of cardboard or paper, and then put maybe some hay on top, and then a little piece of carpet, and you can bury that in your garden. You can bury the sub pod in your garden. This one is called a sub pod mini, and it's modular, so I can buy another one and put the compost into one sub pod, and then when I want to harvest the worm castings, which is about the best fertilizer you'll ever get, I start feeding the other sub pod, which I haven't got yet, and that the worms will move over, and then I can just take the worm castings and add that to my garden. Anyway, I just wanted to share my little processes with you, and just make you think, how are you contributing to the reduction of the carbon footprint? You might be able to grow a few lettuces or some tomato plants, but it's really just about contributing and being part of the community. And it's really quite an enjoyable thing to give friends and family some homegrown vegetables that you don't need. Anyway, I'm signing off.